are fundamentally sound, when they're not making a lot of mental mistakes, when everything is on full cylinder between offense and defense and things are clicking. Today, I thought their running game at times was the best that I've seen in terms of the typical this game that they were in. They were playing against Iowa State, which is ranked the 22nd ranked team in the country. So they're in the top 25. And I had said a week ago, if they had figured out a way to beat TCU and then turn around and beat this team, it would really definitely put CU back on the national scene. But I think this win right now teaches them that when they play together, when they pay attention to detail, when everything is firing properly, they can play with good teams. This was a very good Iowa State team. Don't doubt that whatsoever. They are a very solid football team, very experienced football team. And keep this in mind, CU playing at home, that gave them some emotional uplift. Playing at home definitely boosted them. And all that Coach Prime has gone through since getting his surgery, since having the issues with blood clot, I think all of this resonated with the team. Coach Prime said he felt like today was the day that they were going to get over the hump, particularly against a good football team in Iowa State. Let's not deny these things as facts. This is the thing that was fundamental in this game today. We cannot deny the importance of an offensive line. Today, I think the offensive line played the best that they have played so far this year, okay? Because Salter he was not sacked. They didn't rough him around. He ran when he needed to run to make plays, but for the most part, Salter was an untouched man today. He knew he got out of the pocket at the right time. He made some of the throws when he had to. I would say that he needs to continue to work on his accuracy. That's the area of his game that will still need improvement going forward. But in today's game, Coach Prime believed in him. The team believed in him. Salters had all the right stuff today. And he put the ball where it needed to be. Okay? Michael Welsh, although he didn't have a lot of carries today, let me briefly say something about Michael Welsh because he broke the game open with the first touchdown at the end of the first quarter with an 8-yard run for a touchdown that put them on top 7-0 to get the momentum going in their way. Now, there were times in this game, and let's give this young man a clap for that, opening up the game with the first touchdown. Jeffrey Bay, thank you for being here. Wild Dog Media, thank you for being here. Peggy Roster, thank you for being here. Thank you all that will come in and those that will watch this on the replay. We have a lot to be very happy about. We have a lot to be excited about because everything, like I said, was clicking on all cylinders today. The offensive line did what they supposed to do. They opened up the holes, the necessary holes, to get the running game off the ground. And then they turned around and gave Salters the protection that he needed when he was in the pocket, and then he had to run at times. And when he ran, it was because he was making first downs, he was making plays, he was moving the chains. So, and they did this significantly against a very good Iowa State football team. Keep this in mind. One of the things that I thought was very fascinating about today's game was the defense came to play, particularly the defensive line. Yes, the defense did give up some yardage today against, there were times when Iowa was able to make some running plays, and they'll continue to work on those weaknesses, those issues in their defense. But for the most part, you had merit. You had some young players who stepped up today that we have to pay some respect to. And I want to put out these names. Jeremy Brown stepped up today defensively. That's the linebacker who's getting better and better and better each game. This young man was sensational. He had On his stat line, he had 10 tackles, 2 solo tackles, 1.5 forced. I think, what do you call that? 1.5 forced, fumbles, sacks, whatever you call those numbers, those 1.5 TFLs. And he was very active. Coach Prime spoke about him in the press conference, and they were asking about him, and he showed some much improvement in the way he went out there and took care of his business today. Another defensive player who, to me, continues to get better, that's Reginald Hughes, who had 6 tackles, 5 solo tackles. I like what he did. Then we had Tawfiq, who came over from South Florida. Let me put him up because this young man did a great job at the safety spot. Remember, he got an interception down when Iowa was at the goal line, and Yates did a great job, in my opinion, covering their receiver or their tight end. And Tawfiq stole the ball or intercepted the football, ran down the field, gathered himself. He had a good game. Yates was the one, number 29 Yates, who set that up because of his good coverage on their receiving player that allowed Tawfiq to be able to get that interception. And he finished today with 7 tackles, 6 solo tackles, and did a very good job. And Yates, number 29 himself, had 5 tackles, 5 solos. So defensively, they were all over the place. We witnessed them. On a few occasions stop this football team, whether it be on the goal line area and whether it be when they were trying to convert a first down on 4th down conversions. And what I witnessed today out of CU that I hadn't seen is consistency at stopping Iowa State at converting some of those 4-1, 4-2, 4-3 situations. So I think they frustrated Iowa State, and I don't think Iowa State was expecting this to happen to them. I think the crowd was involved in it. It was loud. It was a very exciting, electric atmosphere. And I think that you could see by the coach of Iowa, you could see his expression today. He was getting upset. He was getting frustrated and what have you. And this is an Iowa State team that has played some good teams so far within this conference. And this was a much needed Big 12 conference win for CU because they are 0-3, but now they're 1-3 in conference, 3-4 overall in their record this season. So can they turn it around? Why not? They can learn from this. They can move forward from this situation and get better going forward. Let me go ahead and pull something up. What's on their schedule? Let me pull this up. They may have a bye going into next week, but I could be wrong. So they've got Utah on October the 25th. So they do, it looks like they do have a bye. And they're going to be at Utah, so that's going to be a tough environment. So they definitely are going to have time to heal up, to prepare for Utah. Should be a good game. I think they can take on Utah just as well as they took on Iowa State and surprise some folks. The momentum is on their side now. They got to have confidence about what they're doing out there on the field. I liked everything that I saw today. Now, there's always room for them to improve. There were some areas that they're going to still have to improve on. But going forward, this is a good step in the right direction to gain confidence, to prepare and play. They should use this game as a blueprint for how they need to play going forward. If they continue to play utilizing this blueprint, playing sound football, fundamentally sound football, mentally sound football, cut out the mistakes, they could go a long way. If Salters continues to manage the game as he has with his feet, throwing when he needs to, no turnovers. He had about, I think Salters had about 3 turnovers a week ago. No turnovers. If I'm not mistaken, he didn't turn the ball over in this game. That keeps them in the game. And with them running the ball effectively, that gives them time of possession and controls a lot of things in the game. Now, let me go ahead and put this up. Now, despite Iowa State getting 441 yards total yards in offense, CU got 395 yards in total offense. But guess what? CU had no turnovers, but managed to get Iowa State to turn the ball over at least one time. Iowa State got 22 first downs to CU 16 first downs, but they still managed to keep Iowa State for most of the game in check. Even when it looked like Iowa State was going to take control of this game, they were able to get in there and nick and tuck back and forth with them, okay? Now, in this game, CU got about 30 minutes and 3 seconds time of possession to Iowa State's 29 minutes and 57 seconds of time of possession, okay? That was good. It's a good thing. Time of possession is very important. Now, what I want to do is talk about Omarion Miller, because Omarion Miller and Joseph Williams, number 8, were two spectacular players today. They made all the right things happen when it was necessary. This young man right here, Coach Prime said that he's always been a good player. They just been waiting, give him the opportunity, and he will blossom and play very well. He did blossom in this game. He did play very well. This young man, first of all, I'm gonna go back to Omarion Miller in just a minute, because I definitely need to focus on this young man right now, because he put up some pretty damn good receiving numbers today. Joseph Williams had 8 receptions for 128 yards, 16.0 average, 1 touchdown, longest catch for 38 yards. He really showed up and showed out and showed everybody what he could do coming over from Tulsa as a transfer. And Coach Prime said today that he's known this young man and his family for a number of years. For a number of years that he has known this young man right here. So I'm really happy that Joseph was able to step up, make the plays when necessary, and his production today really is what put the team over the top to win this game, because as the game went on, Joseph continued to do his work, catching the ball, making tough catches, playing tough. Even though on one catch they called a unsportsmanlike conduct on him, but he didn't let that get his head down. He continued to play through that situation, and I was very excited and very happy about his success in this game. This is a young man that came over in a transfer portal that I was very excited about. I did a video about him, and I've been waiting for him to break out like he did today, and definitely he broke out. Fantastic. Back to Omarion Miller, who I've been telling you all that I think Omarion Miller is going to be a sensation. You're seeing that in this season, this year, getting a start. You're seeing how he's evolving and getting better as a player as each time he's on the field. He's getting better. He's getting stronger. He is definitely, to me, I'm going to say it, I think Omarion Miller is our number 1 receiver on this team in terms of he is such a dangerous target. Joseph Williams definitely is a target. But I think the combination of both of them together can be very dominant going forward if they continue to learn from this win today and go forward. Now, remember I said that I think that the Miller brothers, meaning Draylon Miller and Omarion Miller, I feel that they're going to be still 2 guys that you still need to watch out for, because they're 2 young players. Unfortunately, Draylon Miller didn't play today due to injury, and I just imagine if CU had have had all of their players healthy that did not play today, how much could they have dominated? How much could it have been an easier game for them to do what they do with the 2 guys that they had doing it very well, and Omarion Miller and Joseph Williams, which I was very excited about his production today. Remember Omarion Miller, I must not forget this. Remember Omarion Miller in the 3rd quarter. This is when I think he got like, what is it, 2 touchdowns today? I think Omarion Miller got 1 touchdown. He got Omarion Miller had 3 receptions for 82 yards, 27.3 average for 1 touchdown. His longest catch, which was a very exciting catch today, was for 70 yards with 14 minutes and 13 seconds in the third quarter, thrown by Salter. A really good throw. He put some good touch on the ball and made some great things happen.
Tell the truth.
I was very excited about that, most definitely. But then going back to Joseph, one more time, let me go back to Joseph right here. Let me give you a moment when he also helped to break the game open, and it came in the third quarter. Remember, Joseph Williams, with 4 minutes and 26 seconds left in the ball game, a third quarter, Salters again threw the ball to him for a 3-yard touchdown in the third quarter of the game, breaking it over again. He deserves another clap.
Tell the truth.
So as you can see, when they're playing like this, everything's going well. They can't be stopped, ladies and gentlemen. They cannot be stopped. They can only hurt themselves. Coach Prime said several times that they hurt themselves. The last few games that they've lost is because they hurt themselves. If you think about it, and he said it and I agree, CU has not been blown out by any of these teams that they've lost to. They've been in these games that they've lost. So to the haters out there that are saying it's a bad team and Coach Prime's not a good coach, I laugh at you because they didn't get blown out. They a lot of times they beat themselves, did not make the appropriate plays, they did not execute. And when you don't execute and you have turnovers and the defense is not kicking on all cylinders to stop the run, and I said this before, that they do tend to have problems with quarterbacks that can run, that can scramble, that can get out there and make plays. So that's something they got to continue to work on going forward. But today they were able to put the whole full package together because they know that there are games that they let get away, and they were not trying to let this game get away, ladies and gentlemen. So I want to thank you all for being here watching the program tonight. Sincere Brown is always open. Just throw it up. I think that, yes, he is always open. They've got to figure out a way, you're absolutely right, to get the ball in his hands more than they are, because he is a guy, let me put him up here, a Sincere Brown, number 9, is a guy who can make big things happen, but he's got to get more opportunities. Today, he had 2 receptions for 24 yards with an average of 12.0, 17-yard catch being his longest. But you're right. There were times when Salter ran the ball. They even said it on the commentary today that there were times when there were guys that were wide open at times when Salter ran the ball to, keep the chains moving, to make a big play. And see, that's the poison that you got to deal with when you have a running style quarterback. You're going to take the good with when you have a running style quarterback, there's going to be times when guys are going to be open and the quarterback has run the ball when you would rather him had thrown the ball. These things are going to happen because we got to be honest, Salters is not a pocket quarterback. He's a dual threat quarterback that runs, can throw the ball, still needs to continue working on accuracy as much as possible to continue going forward. But despite these things that need to be improved, they won a ball game against the 22nd ranked team in the country, a team that's pretty good. They played with them. They weren't they didn't seem like they were nervous or flustered or out of their scope. Another thing that I want to say to the critics out there, especially at ESPN, let me put this up here. ESPN this is why this was a big win, everybody. ESPN, according to the ESPN football analysis, the matchup predictor, they had Iowa State beating CU 63.2%, and they only gave CU a 36.8% of beating Iowa State. So they really didn't give CU a chance to be competitive in this ball game. And therefore, this is why this was a big win, because they beat the odds and they shut the naysayers down who felt that Iowa would come into Folsom Field and wipe the floor with CU.
Tell the truth.
You said take advantage of the bye week. Yeah, they got to take advantage. Well, they're playing against Utah. I suspect that they will do a good job preparing for Utah. Look, the way I see it right now, if they can beat Iowa State, be it was at home, but they beat them, they won't have that home field advantage and that home field cooking. But I think with 2 weeks, they'll be more than prepared to match up with Utah, and I think they could beat Utah because I'm hoping to see some of our guys that are injured back active to be ready to play in that game. That means, keep this in mind, they beat Iowa with a defense that was missing other key guys and with an offense that was missing a key guy and someone like Deion Miller. So what does that tell you? If you get a lot of these guys back after this bye week, you're going to be able to make a lot of things happen offensively, defensively. There's going to be some advantages. Now, Deion Miller, is the guy that can do it all. Now, we had the young man Cam who came in, number 18, and played a little bit of Deion Miller's role. He was a freshman. They trusted him running the ball out of the backfield. That young man's a freshman. He's got some great potential, and I'm looking forward to what that young man can do down the line. But we're going to see. We still got we have some talent on this team that can only get better going forward. Let me go ahead and show you something. I'm going to go to the videos of Coach Prime talking about this game and Salters in just a moment. Bear with me. I want to go to some other stats here that I want to show you for today's game. And here we go, how it all matched up. Once again, Salters threw the ball for 255 yards, 16 of 25, 2 TDs, rushing yards. Hayden, who came back, he had 12 carries for 58 yards. He had a big run in this game down the line that really it told the full story that, hey, CU's running the ball, and they're going to pound the ball on you, and we like that. Receiver, 128 receiving yards for Joseph Williams. We talked about that. And then, of course, Mr. Brown, the linebacker, number 42, once again, he topped it off, again, as I said before, with 10 tackles in this game to lead all defenders overall in the game and to lead all defensive players for CU. That deserves a clap, too.
Tell the truth.
Let me go back over here and let you see something, too, right here. So I put up the receiving stats already. Let's put this up right here. Salters also had 9 carries for 57 yards when he was scrambling, 24 for his longest. And remember, Michael Welsh had 10 carries for 27 yards. But even though he only had 27 yards, he had a major touchdown at the end of the first quarter with a 3-yard run for a touchdown. So he did what he had to do. Another thing that I don't want you guys to sleep on is Quentin Gibson. I am very excited about this young man. That's the punt return young man right here. Let's talk about what he did today. How many of you realize that this young man contribute and put up some good numbers for a return man? Quentin Gibson, number 15, had 4 opportunities in his return today. And guess what he got? He got 103 yards overall, 25.8 average, 36 yards was his longest run on the punt return. I thought he was going to take it all the way to the house. Coach Prime says it's just a matter of time before this young man takes it all the way to the house. I believe that to be true.
Tell the truth.
So with that said, let's get to the videos, everybody. Let me let you hear what Coach Prime was saying. This is let me first go to let's go to Coach Prime, and I'm going to go to Salters as well. But let's go to Coach Prime and hear what Coach Prime is saying here. Let's go.
7 Sports, congrats on the win.
Thank you, sir.
How big is this for Caden to have the second half he did? Did you have to challenge him there in the first half?
We challenge everybody, not just Caden. he stood up and stood out. He did his thing. I mean, I don't think it was a play in the game bigger than that third down throw. And the standing there, first of all, we gave him a clean pocket. The line, hats off to the darn line. They're blocking their butts off, run as well as pass. And he stood in there and he delivered a great ball. Joseph went up and got that thing. I mean, it was a great execution of what we practice. And I'm happy for him. I'm happy for him. I truly am.
Coach, you mentioned Jeremiah Brown leading the team in tackles today. Just how much better of a player has he become over the last couple of years? I know obviously he was struggling to find his way in the lineup the last 2 years here, but just it seems like he's just taken a massive step forward this season.
Well, we're looking for consistency of the entire defense, not just Jeremiah. Once we get consistency, especially at the linebacker position, you're going to see some big changes. You know, I love to applaud our guys on defense, but you got to understand we gave up 240-some yards rushing. So how can I sit up there and clap with my feet? Knowing that.
Right. That was a problem. That was an area, like I said, where they did give up some yards rushing. Coach Prime was not very happy about that. Let me put something on the board here. Their running back for Iowa State had 24 carries, 2 touchdowns for 177 yards. And out of that total, they had 441 yards total overall offense. Coach Prime is saying he was not happy with that. They won the game. There were other things that they did that were very effective. But that, to me, as well, is one of their glaring weaknesses that they still have to they need more consistency with stopping the run particularly at crucial times. But let's hear Coach Prime continue.
Hey, Coach. Brian Howell, Boulder Daily Camera. I do want to ask you another question about Caden. Just as a quarterback, how big of a deal is that for a young man to gain confidence and get a win like this and play like that?
Tremendous. I mean, because you're looking at your teammates, and if they're looking at you crazy, or they're looking at you sideways, you got to fix that. And he took responsibility. We had a meeting, and, you know, I challenged certain guys to step the game up, and he said, you know, this is the way I played. That's on me. I'm going to play better. And he did. So I'm happy for him.
And I do want to ask you a follow-up on something you said earlier, that the season could have gone one way or another. Obviously, who knows what happens, but you guys go into a bye now, feeling much better about yourselves. Do you feel like this is that type of win that can maybe turn this season around?
I hate to say it's one win that can turn it around. We should have been winning, man. And
This is a good point right here. Coach Prime's bringing up about how if they would have played in this manner from the very beginning, they would have a better record. You're looking at a CU team that could very well be a 4-0 team had they played in the way that they played here. To me, there's no way they should have lost to TCU, but they lost to TCU because of the turnovers. Had they played this type of ball game against TCU, they would be looking at they would have 2 wins in the conference under their belt. They would be 2-2 in the conference. I believe they would be 2-2. They're 0-3. Well, now they're 1-3 in the conference, but they would be 2-3 in the conference, or 2-2, because they would have at least won 2 matchups against a Big 12 opponent. Maybe I'm getting that mixed up, but they would be better off. I agree with Coach Prime. They'd be better off right now, but let's continue.
And we're still upset with that. I mean, the locker room has a different vibe today, and it's a different challenge given at the conclusion of the matter, but we're better than what our record says. And sometimes as coaching, you analyze everything, you still in that mode, that competitive mode. I'm still thinking about the games and what I could have done better, what we could have done better. And I'm thinking about these yards rushing that we've given up. So when you giving up those type of numbers, that's clock, man. That's possessions.
That's possessions. I've been saying that for a while. When teams are running on you, they're controlling the clock, they're controlling the tempo. You giving up possessions. So I like this because Coach Prime is recognizing that we got a glaring problem on the team, still remains. And as they go forward, there are going to be some teams that can really run the ball. and they're going to have to figure that part out. I want us to bask in this win and enjoy this win. But Coach Prime is already thinking about, okay, we won this game. We're excited. We should have been playing this way before, but we still got some areas to deal with, and that's that stopping these teams from running on us so easily.
And that's taking possessions out of the hands of the offense. And I think we got the ball. I forgot when it was, but we were 3 and out. I mean, we didn't take any time off the clock. We can't have 3 and outs.
3 and out,
Not
3
with
and out.
The capability of what we have in that locker room. But coaches got it right. We fixed it, and we went out there and overcame adversity.
Right. Good point, Coach.
Schultz
From Ralph Report. You touched on this a couple of questions ago, but you guys have struggled on both sides of the ball in the second half the last few weeks.
Right.
You guys come out, have this performance this week. What does it mean for this team's confidence to come out and perform like you guys did
I don't
today?
think we didn't have confidence, but I like that when you put in the work and you see the results, then you understand what triggered everything. It's the work. It's the work. And they put in the work. And we went over situational football quite a bit this week as well as last week. And we did better with some things that happened in the TCU game this week. We did much better in some of those things. So when you put in the work, you're going to see the results ultimately.
All right, everybody. Here's another clip from Coach Prime. I'm going to get back to a clip. I'm going to get back to Coach Prime with another clip. Let me go to Salter and let you just get a little taste of what he was talking about during his press conference. And here we go.
And instead of a loss and just having that on your mind. But like I said, overall, I just felt like we went out there and we executed the game plan, and we can always get better, but a win is a win, and I'm just excited that we got this win.
Caden, obviously that 3rd and 17 play to kind of seal it, the throw to JoJo, just kind of what were the conversations like on the sideline leading up to that? Like, how much confidence did you guys have that if you got a certain look that you eventually got, that you were going to be able to convert the eventually game-winning first down?
Yeah, most definitely. Coach Prime told us on the sideline that play right there was win-loss with the game, or like if we made that first down, that that we would have won a game, and if we didn't, the defense would have had to go out there and pull a miracle and stop them again, which they would have done. But speaking on Joe, he made amazing catches today, as you see, 8 targets, 8 catches, 128 yards. I mean,
that's right. Talking about my man Joseph Williams again. He was outstanding today, as well as Omarion Miller early on as the game went on. Good point.
he's a dog, and he showed it today.
Coming out of the half, you found Omarion Miller for a 70-yard touchdown. What was your mentality going into that drive, and did you know that it was going to produce such lucrative results for you?
I mean, everybody's mentality coming out of halftime is to get points up on the board, and we just caught basically almost an all-verse play, and they kind of busted coverage, so I did my 3-step drop, and seeing that there was no safety out there, the corner kind of set in cover 2. Omarion ran right past him, so I just gave him a nice catchable ball so he can go out there and score.
Fantastic. Again, he's talking about, and I've mentioned these incredible athletes before. He's talking about our main man, Omarion Miller. He gets the ball. You get that ball to him. He's strong. He's physical. He's athletic. He's exactly what the doctor orders for this team. Let's continue.
Hey, Caden. Harrison Simeon, Buffs NSI. Obviously, your connection with JoJo was quite up there today. Did you have any conversations to him in the build-up, and how did you feel it kind of had a payoff moment today?
Yeah, I mean, no conversation. JoJo, he's one of the guys on the team that just always have a smile on his face. He comes to work every day. He's one of the leaders in that receiver room. He was a freshman All-American last year at Tulsa, so everybody knows what he's capable of doing. And today he came out there and showed it. And, without the O-line, I wouldn't have been able to get him those passes that he was able to catch today. He made an amazing catch on that 3rd down where I left it low. But overall, I feel like Joe did amazing today. And the O-line, they also did great.
Okay, everybody. Great job there. Salter breaking things down. You could tell he looks a lot better than he played during the beginning of the season. Looks like Salter's confidence is getting better, even though they lost the game against TCU in which he turned the ball over, if I'm not mistaken, 3 times in that game. For him to come back against a team like Iowa State and rebound from the TCU game and get out there and get all these guys involved the way he did and make his runs when necessary and then not turn the ball over. And then for the offensive line, which I must give them kudos, for the offensive line to go out there and make sure that his shirt is clean, that nobody touches him, we have to give the offensive line a lot of credit. When we look at guys like Jordan Seaton, we look at guys like Xavier Hill. We got to give them some kudos here in the way that they've been conducting themselves, right? As an offensive line. Just the man who anchors it, Larry Johnson III. We just have to thank and I know when guys get hurt, you bring other guys in to make up for guys that are gone because of injury. But overall, the offensive line has been much improved. This is definitely the best offensive line that they've had in the short time that Coach Prime has been at CU. Coach Prime said he wanted bigger bodies on that offensive line. He wanted beef. He wanted stronger players. And you're seeing it that their offensive line is a way better. And the offensive line is the heartbeat of a football team. That's the facts.
Tell the truth.
Now, let's go to my last clip for tonight. Let's go back to Coach Prime. This is the second clip from his interview. And let's get at it right now.
Or conversation about running it there and doing that? Or was it straight
we had to go get it. Yeah, we had to go get it. It was it's 3rd and 17. It was it? Man, I might have changed my mind if I know that. I'm just joking. I know, but we had a good play call. We felt like if they give us this look, we could take advantage of it, and we did.
Hey, Coach, congrats on the win.
Thank you, sir.
Jake Schwannis, DMVR. I mean, you had the interception, the 4th down stop,
That
but
was
also 2 for 12, holding them on 3rd down. Just what was it about the defense to have those clutch performances?
Situational football and challenging guys to step up.
I definitely like that because that's something that we hadn't seen from the defense where they were in a situation where they had to stop a team 3rd down and short. Also, like I said, there were times when Iowa State would try to go for it on 4th down, and the defense up front, the defensive line, you got some young freshmen, some young guys on that defensive line that are really stepping up, that have come in, contributing, and that's what I like because this defensive line, if they can keep some of these young guys together going forward, the defensive line is only going to get better. It's going to be even more. I think the defensive line is going to be could be dominant next year with these guys getting a year of experience under their belt. I'm talking about particularly the first-year guys, maybe the second-year guys coming in and getting some playing time here. This is what we did not see over the last few years where the defensive line could put up a stop at crucial moments in the game. And this today, they were able to prove that, and they can only learn from that going forward.
I mean, you got to understand when you're trying to get it together and you're trying to win games that you've lost. And
make sure you share the video,
rally
everybody,
these
and
guys
like
up,
and
one
share.
guy
Thank
wanna
you.
Stand up and talk. It's hard for him to talk when he ain't doing his job. So those guys understand. You don't say nothing unless you're balling. You can't say it. So that was a challenge to them by their teammates as by the coaching staff, and they got it right. So now they can stand up proudly and profess what we need to do. It's hard to stand up in front of your team and you ain't balling. That's tough.
Hey, Coach. Bill Weiss with the CU Independent. I know there's been a couple questions about the second half, but I want to look at that 3rd quarter, which is the best 3rd quarter of the season so far. Was there something specific in the locker room or at halftime that you said?
Yeah, but I don't even recall what I said at halftime because it's in the moment. It's in the moment, and I don't write nothing down most of the time. So But these guys know the way we practice, the things we emphasize, second half, especially the third quarter. It don't make sense. Not only that, third series of the game, we have been giving it up all season long. And guess what? We got off the field the third series of the game. I think we got off the fourth series of the game.
Right on, Coach Prime. Right on. So as you can see, I want to cut that short there. Coach Prime explaining himself about how, he just goes with the flow. He goes with how he feels. He doesn't write anything down when he's giving motivational speeches to his teams during halftime. One of the things I want to bring up before this podcast is concluded is that one of the things that we all should have noticed today that really stuck out amongst many things that I believe that stuck out in this game today was usually CU struggles to make things happen when they go in the second half. Like in the first half, they'll have times where they'll score, they'll get up on a team by 1, maybe 2 points. And what really frightened me is that when they go in at halftime, then when they have a lead, they let the other team either tie the game or get a lead on them. So in this game, you witness Iowa State do exactly that, where they scored, they go in at halftime in a lead, and then that's where CU has really struggled, where they have really struggled in the third quarter going into the fourth quarter. And then what we witnessed today is that in the third quarter, they were able to make something happen. Omarion Miller getting a breakout catch for 70 yards. Then you have Joseph Williams getting a big catch in the third quarter. I had mentioned this before. And that's something that even Coach Prime said that he notices that in that third quarter going into the fourth quarter, they struggle. And that's where the team that they're playing against would usually build a lead. Then when they go in the fourth quarter, now there's pressure on them to try to score because time is ticking. The team is running on them and eating up clock. But in this game, for whatever reason, they were able, because they were playing hard, they were playing tough football, and they were disciplined. In this game, despite the fact that Iowa State was able to run the ball on them at times, and that did not make Coach Prime feel very happy about it, but despite that, they did not fail to put some points up during the third quarter. I think that was the key to them winning this game, because finally in a game, they were able to put together not one touchdown, but 2 touchdowns in the third quarter going into the fourth quarter. Okay. That made a difference. I'm going to remind you. Mind you again that in the third quarter with 14 minutes and 13 seconds, Omarion Miller had a 70-yard touchdown. Joseph Williams, again, contribute in the fourth quarter with 4 minutes and 26 seconds left. Not in the fourth quarter, but the third quarter with 4 minutes and 26 seconds where he got a 3-yard touchdown. That's where they struggled, everybody. They have struggled in past games with trying to get something going in the third quarter. Usually in the third quarter is where they also struggle and they're stagnant. The offense is stagnant. They can't get anything going. And then they go into the fourth quarter, and then that's when goofy stuff happens also in the third quarter. In the fourth quarter, when they go into the fourth quarter, that's where goofy things start to happen, because now they weren't able to produce something in that third quarter, and then they allow the other team to score on them going forward. So there's a lot to learn from this game, a lot of improvement that they'll work on going forward. They'll have this bye week, and they shall be prepared for Utah, and I think they'll do well against Utah. But I'm going to say this again. This young man, Quentin Gibson, is dangerous, y'all. If this man, I predict that before this season is over, maybe it's going to be against Utah, that Quentin Gibson, their return man, he plays receiver. They put him in that slot. He can do some damage because he's got a lot of speed. I predict on punt return, he's going to take one to the house. I think it can happen against Utah. I just think it's going to happen because there's moments in this game where with that 36-yard run return that he got, you felt like, man, maybe he could take this one to the house. So I think it's just a matter of time before it happens. You let me know in the comment section of this video what you think is going to happen going forward against Utah, what have you. I want to say thank you for watching tonight's show. It was a great win. Like and comment when you get a chance to comment. Subscribe to the channel. We definitely appreciate it. I definitely appreciate your support. No doubt about it. There it is. If you like videos like this and you want more videos like this, subscribe to the channel, share the video, hit the bell of notification so that every time I go live or upload a video, you'll get a notification that I've got some new content that I've put out. I appreciate you all in the chat room. Jeffrey Bay, Peggy Roster, Alicia coming through. Thank you. Everybody, definitely share this video. The crowd today at the game were wow. It was exciting out there. It looked like it rained a little bit during the early part of the day, but for the most part, it was a good showing. I liked it. I hope you liked it. It was a very good showing, and I'm looking forward to how the season will go forward. Once again, do not forget, do not sleep on the fact that the ESPN analysis had CU as an underdog at 63.2%, that Iowa State would beat them, and they were only given CU a 36.8% chance of beating Iowa State, and they beat those odds today because they played together as a team. And I have to say that CU is a much better team than we give them credit for when they are playing in this manner. Coach Prime is, you can tell he's gaining more confidence when it comes to quarterback Salter. Let's go over here real quick and throw up the schedule going forward. So as we know, there's going to be a bye and there will be no game next weekend. They will have another extra week to get healthy, to get prepared for Utah on the 25th of October. November 1st, they will play Arizona at home. They will play West Virginia in West Virginia. That will be an interesting game. They'll play Arizona State at home. Then they will play Kansas State at Kansas State. It'll be announced what time those games are going forward. So this is the slate of games that are coming up as we get ready to get closer to November. We come out of October, we get closer to November into the Thanksgiving season or time. And we'll see exactly these games going forward. These next few games going forward will really tell us what type of football team this year, what they're really made of. Can they win some more games going forward and make a bowl game this year? Can they turn the season around, win some more conference games, get themselves into competitive, themselves, what I say by competitive, get themselves to a point where they can be competitively relevant within the conference. They've lost 3 games in the conference, but that doesn't mean they can't win more games in the conference. And then we also have to keep in mind the other teams that play in this conference, they're going to lose games too. Keep that in mind.
Tell the truth.
So everybody, I thank you for being here. I'm going to get ready to end this program again. It's been great doing this program today. Definitely thank you all for being here again. Make sure you subscribe again. I'm going to say that again. Make sure you subscribe. Let people know about the channel. I appreciate that. Also, remember I did a video about Deion Sanders and how he's being treated with the Cleveland Browns. Did you all see what happened? So the Cleveland Browns have traded away Joe Flacco. He's gone. You would think that they would make Shador the second quarterback underneath Dylan Gabriel, but they still have him inactive. And then they had the nerve to bring in another quarterback. And they keep telling you and me they're still developing Shedeur Sanders. I still say that something don't smell right. I would rather them just trade him to another team that would like to really develop him for real. What do you all think? So make comments about that in the comment section of this video. Alicia says, I'm going to replay from the beginning. Okay, thank you for doing that. I appreciate you doing that. Thank you.
True.
So let me get on out of here, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Enjoy the rest of tomorrow is the NFL. So enjoy that. Enjoy everything that's going on in your life, your family, your loved ones. Tell someone that you love them. And I'll be back with more video presentation. This is Prime Sports Media, everybody. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Peace.
Tell the truth. Tell the truth.
You are listening to Information Man. Please make sure to subscribe to his channel.
Thank you, everybody. We're watching Prime Sports Media. Have a great one.
Tell the truth. Tell the truth.